hello, I'm Daniela West from Reset Your Body. Thank you again for tuning in. I want to talk about something that to me is really, really important when it comes to helping people get well and to heal and to get rid of disease. I'll tell you where disease often starts and why it is hard to get out of it on an emotional level. I'll talk about fear, how your human needs impact your choices, and also a little bit about diet. So probably over half the people that I speak to and who suffer from chronic disease will have had a degree of emotional trauma in their lives, a difficult time in their lives that I would call above average, which by the way can also stem from being sick from a young age due to genetics and living with and experiencing firsthand our parents' stress in response to our sickness. And sometimes it starts to show through gut problems, sometimes through other organs or the glands, and it usually ends up to be a chronic condition or an autoimmune disease. And when I say chronic condition, I mean conditions and side effects like IBS, leaky gut, candida, SIBO, gastritis, colitis, even hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, adrenal fatigue, any fungal issues, skin rashes, psoriasis, acne. It could be really dry eyes, dry mouth. It could be hormonal swings, generally speaking, depression, arthritis, and more. And so the trigger events tends to be something emotional. Something happens in somebody's life, and it could be, something very traumatic. It could be a divorce. It could be losing your house or buying a house and not completing, for example, or it could be losing your job. It could be losing a parent or sickness in the family. So any of these things that really put a lot of stress on us, that knock the wind out of us. And those are the events that are possible trigger events. And sometimes it goes back as far as childhood. Asthma is one of those things that people really very often can track back right into childhood. And we tend to brush these events aside and think it's the best way to cope and just get on with our busy lives. It's just what we do. But it is in those defining moments where we weaken our body and more our soul, the entire system actually. How does this work? The mind cannot distinguish between physical and emotional pain, as odd as this sounds, but we now know this to be true. In other words, the response is the same. And there is a tremendous release of hormones that make our blood rush to the extremities and away from our head and our vital organs that are essential for keeping us healthy. And sometimes you can actually feel it happening. If this situation is prolonged, so it lasts over a period of time, the damage can be quite severe because the body doesn't get the resources or the chance to heal itself, to purge as nature intended, and it keeps losing strength over time. So it goes down very slowly, sometimes quicker. And very often in these situations, we go to food or other bad habits to console ourselves. We go and we grab comfort food, which is usually the very food that makes us miserable in long term. It just gives us this initial spike, which is why we want it, but then long term it makes us miserable because now our body has this additional load it has to deal with, and the gut has the hardest time breaking these things down, and it needs help from bacteria and fungus. And it actually can cause your gut wall to open up just a little too long and release toxins into the bloodstream. Some can even jump the blood-brain barrier, which means it ends up in your head and wreaks havoc there. And over time, as you keep eating these comfort foods or foods that are stimulants or any stimulants, you're making things worse and getting in the way of any kind of healing process in doing so. So you have these foods and you have the standard diet and you keep putting this load on your body day in and day out. And you feel bad and then you feel a little better and then you feel bad again and you haven't got a clue what's actually happening in your intestines. But then eventually your body is just really fed up. And your immune system is getting so hot at that point that it is in high alert all the time. And then you start having bowel spasms. You get diarrhea or constipation because of the acidity you've created in the gut. And you have no idea what food triggers you anymore. You cannot distinguish. The gut is one place where we see the impact of stress. And the other one is the adrenal gland. It is so tired from producing stress hormones. It eventually just burns out. And we're no good at all at regulating our stress response. We have no control over our mind unless we learn what that means and how to deal with it and how to do it. Some people actually even bask in it. They're so used to this. It's normal for them. And there was even a time, I remember, when it was almost fashionable to be stressed because it probably meant you were important, especially when you were in a corporate job. Don't forget the body's a system. If something goes wrong, it means there will be more things going wrong, unless you repair and you go down a curative route. And being sick often means fear. So many people I speak to are very, very fearful and protective, and they're afraid to make decisions about healing. And often that actually extends to other areas of their lives also. And most people know that they want to be healthy, but fear keeps controlling them. And there's something else. It is a principle that comes from the human needs theory, and it's been developed by Chloe Madanis and Tony Robbins. So let me just talk about these briefly. What are these 6 human needs then? Number 1 is certainty. It's the guarantee of an outcome. We know what to expect, and it is, for us, it's predictable, and it can evoke either pain or pleasure, and it doesn't really matter because both give us a certain outcome. It's the need for safety, security, consistency, and order. And it is enough that we can rely on the outcome, regardless if it's good or bad. And this truly is one of our most fundamental needs. And then, in stark contrast, we have need number 2, which is uncertainty, the need for uncertainty and variety. It's the desire for change, for stimulation, for excitement, for challenge, for chaos, for new experiences. The third need is significance. It's the feeling of being important, to be unique, to be an individual, feeling special and feeling worthy. And then need number 4, those are the 4 basic ones. Number 4 is connection and love. It's having a relationship, or at very least a very strong connection with another. It is where we get our approval, and this is where we get our closeness and our intimacy. And once we've achieved these 4, we tend to reach further. We go for growth. This is need number 5. It's all about expansion and knowledge and learning and a path of self-discovery and spiritual and emotional expansion, for example. And need number 6 then is contribution. It's a strong sense of wanting to serve and contribute beyond ourselves, supporting, giving to others, to protect others, and to serve. So those are your 6 basic human needs. And if these are not met, it leads to frustration. It always leads to conflict, often, internally and externally, and it creates problematic behavior. And it can also lead to irrational decisions and actions. So we need these needs to be met at different levels, though. Each of us has different priorities, and they can and they do vary over time. So somebody might be in a situation where they've had a stressful time, so the need number 1 for certainty will be predominant in their current makeup. Again, this can change. Having said that, however, if something or someone meets 2 or more of these needs, it becomes an addiction. And it is something we keep going back to over and over again. And it's something we get very familiar and comfortable with, and then we avoid change. And I've seen these patterns over and over again in so many scenarios, especially in health, but also in relationships. It helps unravel so many of life's conundrums and problems to understand that system. It's a very, very powerful tool to help understand our own behavior and change what we want to change so we can get the outcome we desire. And if you want to know more about this and how it can help you get on a path of health, in addition to a diet change and deep tissue cleanse, email me and we can discuss your situation and circumstances. And we can even do a test to establish what your main needs are, so what your drivers are right now, and what that actually means for you. When you're in a state of disease, there is always a disconnect. We disengage at some level. And I know this from my clients and also from back when I was chronically ill for years and years and years. Understanding what is happening on all levels, emotional, dietary, and health, is so important on the road of getting your health back. Let's not forget our body is our vessel for being here in the first place and to be able to truly experience life in the way you should do, provided we're healthy. We all have a purpose while we're here. I'm convinced of that. And you do too. What I really wanted to say to you today is that it's so important to be mindful of the relationship you have with yourself and your body. As always, make sure you let me know if you like this video by giving it a thumbs up. subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you never miss anything. But do post your questions and comments, and I do answer your questions. If you want to have a conversation about your situation, get in touch straight away. Email me, daniela@danielaarwise.com. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.